here drinks tea? Who here wears cotton shirts? Who here purchases products of any kind? All of you, that's who. And all of those items that are up for sale were manufactured somehow. And currently, in our most progressive era, the most efficient and reliable source of mass production is slavery. I am Captain Kimber, and I am pro-labor. I am the captain of the Recovery, a beautiful ship carrying up to 189 tons of cargo, and I have confidence in my knowledge of the effectiveness of the transport and treatment of slaves. Slavery should not be abolished, seeing as slavery is essential for the economy in the Americas. The slaves that are chosen for work come from uncivilized tribes, and the practice of unpaid laborers has been around since ancient times, and therefore slavery is not a tradition that needs mending. Currently, the transatlantic system of trade is a very reliable system of transport and merchantry and is keeping all parties fully satisfied. Europe is trading gunpowder for slaves, then transporting the slaves to the Americas and receiving cotton, tobacco, and other various necessities from the farms in which the slaves are used. While this is all stable now, the balance between the three parties must be very carefully sustained, or everything will fall apart. Now you might argue, surely there must be another way to have our economic structures all work out without the need of slavery. No. There is no replacement strategy, at least not one as capable to the needs of all three parties. If we remove slavery, the Americas would fall into a period of stress and would not be able to supply Europe with the amount of goods that could meet the European standards. With slavery out of the pictures, chaos would ensue and the American economy would become as faulty as ever, leading everyone else to suffer, including the slaves. This leads me to my next point, the caveman-like slaves. All of the African tribes that we bought slaves from were uncivilized, crude, and hopeless. Who would ever argue that letting them live their diseased, sinful lives in their home tribes is a better option than having them become eloquent Christian cotton farmers? No one. That is who. And some may disagree and state, how is being mistreated by an owner any better? And to that I say, slaves are cargo, not people. It is stated such in our rules and regulations, and therefore owners can do whatever is in their right to maintain order. Let's say I was transporting crates of tea. If one crate was moving all over the deck, it would be completely fine for me, as the supervisor, to tie the crate down, correct? And if the tea spoiled, it would be completely within my right to take care of the situation, correct? And if a crate tumbled overboard, there would be no lawsuit, for there would be no reason to investigate. So what's the difference? And in the end, it's a dog-eat-dog world. We are all simply looking after our own interests, and the interests of pro-slave officials just happen to correlate greatly with the needs of Europe. Now, if we were to dispose of the trade, would slavery come to an end as a whole? Where would the slaves go? How would the important thinkers and doers of the world be able to maintain their busy schedules of thinking and doing? Slavery has been fully functional since ancient times and has become not only a necessity, but a tradition. If there were no slaves to do the basic household tasks, which of the great Romans would have the time and effort to think of the plumbing systems? No one would be able to focus on new innovations while having to clean out the stables. Later, it would be extremely difficult to construct the plumbing systems without a vast amount of builders. It would not be possible to pay that many laborers or to find so many who would work for free. So as usual, slavery is the clear-cut choice, as it is in our modern world of new ideas and inventions, and by cutting off the trade, we would be cutting off our ancient traditions as well. The purpose of the transatlantic slave trade is to keep economies steady, culturize uncivilized Africans, and to maintain the stability provided by our ancient traditions, altogether providing people from 3 different corners of the world with civilized trade and prosperity. So why deny them of trade and merchantry in its most traditional form? Keep the trade, keep the peace.